well, you know, we're doing a video and JakeOfALL's not anywhere around. JakeOfALL! What is that noise? Oh my gosh, I gotta find this boy. I can hear him out front. Where is JakeOfALL? I don't know what he's doing. What? We're supposed to be doing a video.
Right.
You were gonna go for
I was
a ride.
going to.
It doesn't sound so good. Needs a little cleaning up.
It's not so bad. I just run it at full chop. Everything's
Well,
fine.
you know.
All right. No, don't give it gas.
Oh boy.
That's what happens when we give it gas.
Okay.
All right. So
Sounds like it needs a tune-up.
sounds like I need to do some card work.
Oh boy.
So segue.
Ha 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 ha. I see what you did there.
Right. Okay. We're gonna fix the carburetors on this, and I got a toy.
What'd you get?
Oh, ultrasonic. Okay, you guys might have seen all of the struggle that I've had, struggle bus with the motorcycle, and I'm pulling it out of the box now. Okay, look at this. Oh, and it's a big one.
That's what she said.
said. So I am going to set this up, and you guys are going to see this little video production, like I already warned you. Where
Is this like a deep fryer basket?
It's-
Is this
yes.
for the turkey on Thanksgiving?
we're totally going to deep fry. Hey, would you open that one while I show the camera this one?
Yes.
Okay, check this out. This, does it say how many liters this? This is supposed to be, I think, the 15-liter one. But it's got, look, temperature, up, down, time, on, off. This is so cool. We're going to plug it in real quick, and you guys are going to watch your ears. I'll give you a countdown when the camera, when you got to worry about the camera. But these things, it's funny, I actually reached out to VEVOR, and I probably am going to repeat myself.
My bad.
I was like, hey, I've got this motorcycle, you guys keep wanting me to review stuff, and the cool thing about them is that this, you know, I actually, my parents owned a business where we used ultrasonic cleaners to clean stuff, and they were outrageously, like thousands of dollars, and VEVOR's really been good at making stuff affordable. So this little guy is totally going to clean some carburetors, some rings. Can you unplug that, girl, and plug this in? Rings, carburetors, tools, but a trick. And then, you know, we're gonna go back to clean JakeOfALL. That's like a trick is you don't want to fill this with, you know, $150 in chemical. You know, you've got a drain tube. You've got your drain spigot,
Squirrel
the tube,
brain, you didn't say what that was for.
to drain it.
No, you held up the Tupperware.
Oh, the Tupperware. Yes, so trick, right?
Oh my god.
You don't want to drain the liquid. So what you do is, as long as you put liquid in this ultrasonic cleaner,
So you can put water.
put just regular old water,
And
not
then you
even
can
soapy
put your
water.
chemical in
Then
there.
you put your chemical in here, and then
as
you
long
put
as
it in
fits
the water.
clear.
It will transfer the ultrasonic waves into this. And that was just a trick on YouTube.
Like you can actually
But
put
it makes,
both of these.
I know, I could put both. So I could clean rings and like not rings. So I've heard diesel fuel, evapor rust,
Yeah, it fits.
right? Okay, so real quick.
That's
So
horrible.
what I'm gonna do is off camera now, right?
Woo!
This whole thing was to set up the video. Is I'm gonna go ahead and fill this with tap water, and I'm gonna get some of her jewelry in one, which is just gonna be soapy water. I'm gonna get the heat going, and then I'm gonna get a spark plug in this one, and maybe something else if I have enough time between this and actually filming the regular video. And we'll be back, and I'll show you all the features, and I'll know more about it. And this is sort of the prep, but you guys are getting a little behind the scenes, so cool. See ya. Okay, I wanna. Oh, she's got water. All right.
Look, I can put you.
Okay, so here's what we got, right? So, I watched a guy use gasoline. I did a lot of research on rubbing alcohol because Mr. Walt has a dab device and she has to use isopropyl alcohol. And as isopropyl alcohol heats up, it creates even more fumes. And everything I read was that it's explosive. Now diesel, you know how diesel works. Diesel, you have to have a lot of pressure or a lot of heat to get it to combust. So I'm going to use diesel. This guy's YouTube channel that I was watching used gasoline. So here's one of the spark plugs. Yes, I know you don't, I mean, you could blast, you know, most people just replace it. But I want to show you this work so that when I show you the intro video of this going how it works, right, you can see that they're cleaner and what the liquid looks like. So green, not cloudy, okay? The more you put in here, the better. And then let me show you the ring. Okay? So there you can see the water's nice and clear. All right, so when we're back, it'll be JakeOfALL and PACKOUT Princess, and we'll have a finished product and we can give you a much better thought of how everything works. Oh, and quick note, don't use this without any liquid in it. It'll ruin the device. Sometimes I'm a little scatterbrained, but
no.
I've been working on
over here so I can see.
Lincoln's mini bike, and I actually have tried some other stuff from VEVOR, and I reached out to them. I actually emailed them, and I was like, guys, I need something big enough that I can fit CB750 carburetors in, and I wanted to clean as many as I could. So the first thing I did was did the mini bike. I actually tested it out on some spark plugs, and I'm going to show you the clips, but I do want to show you this. So
yeah, bring them close so we can see.
I'm gonna bring them close.
You got to be your own Vanna White, so I can.
I've got to be my own Vanna White.
Yeah,
that's
you do.
Hilarious. All right.
PACKOUT Princess will stand behind the camera.
Okay, so this is one.
Put your hand behind it so they can see. Like you got to do like the makeup girls do.
That's a before.
Come closer. There you go.
Right.
Okay. Really dirty, really gross. Ooh.
And that's an after. Now it's a used spark plug. It's not perfect, but it immediately started cleaning these. And now I'm not gonna say let's buy an ultrasonic cleaner to clean spark plugs that you should honestly just replace, but put your hand in front of the thing, show them.
Oh yeah, although it needs to be cleaned again, you actually should probably put it in
So
again.
I totally threw that in engine degreaser and cleaned it.
But unknowingly.
But so okay, so this cleaner, which I'm gonna do a warning, and I'm gonna cut some clips in here. Now right now I have an ultrasonic safe chem dip. There is a specific one. So this one, I'm trying to see, it's the one that ends in 0996. And that is safe for ultrasonic cleaners because it is a lower VOC, volatile organic compounds. Oh yeah, Alexa, turn on garage neon. You probably can't see that, but you know, it makes me feel good. All right. You don't want to put gasoline. You could, I'm not going to tell you to do it, but you could put a lot of people put fuel in this. A diesel, because it's got a higher flash point and all that other stuff like that. You get fumes and heat, bad. So this thing has a heater, okay? It also is ultrasonic. I'm going to give you a quick, hey, what does the ultrasonic sound like? Okay, so for us that just sounded annoying, for you that sounded terrible. All right, and if you look over on here, we've got a set to 60 and our actual is 19. Now that is going to be in Celsius. It says really big on it. So I'll just say something like, hey Alexa, what's 60 degrees in Celsius in Fahrenheit?
60 degrees Fahrenheit is about 15.6 degrees Celsius.
She didn't listen. I probably said it wrong. Hey, Alexa, what's 60 degrees Celsius in Fahrenheit?
60 degrees Celsius is 140 degrees Fahrenheit.
So that's pretty good, right? I got it set to 140 and I forgot how high I took this once before. 80. So Alexa, what's 80 degrees Celsius in Fahrenheit? She's like, no. You know how that is. It's like a rolling curve or whatever. It gets really hot. How about that? It gets really hot, to the point where you're using tongs to get stuff in and out of here. All right, so now it has a lid. It has a little stainless basket with a grate. Now see that's what I like to do is turn it. I also, for the small parts, use the little chem dip provided baskets to put smaller screws that are going to fall through that screen. but I'm gonna show you this other trick that I like to do. I actually saw this on YouTube. So jars, okay, with liquid.
What kind of jars?
This one's just a mason jar.
It's a glass.
Glass,
jar.
knockoff, right. Why? Oh, because of the plastic bag?
Yes.
Okay, so depending what clip I cut in here. So I tried this, as long as you put another liquid in this object, the second you put it in here, the sound waves transfer, no problem. It does work with Tupperware, but these Tupperwares that I got are really inexpensive. And as you can see,
2 locking points.
2 locking points, and once whatever was in here started expanding because of the heat, it's like I put soapy water in this, put a ring in it, it was clean right away, but it immediately wanted to try to, once the heat caused this container to want to vent, it expanded. And then this one, I put diesel fuel in, which you can see this nice, cute, like sludge thing on the bottom. That's what came off the spark plugs. As long as you can get the rim to float outside of it, it won't transfer liquid from the other. And then you can just put regular water in it. But you take regular water, you put some of the carburetor cleaner in here, put your part in it. If it's small, put it in the basket, drop it in. Now for anything you're wanting to clean, you do want to make sure that you have this grate in here. You don't want anything resting on the bottom. And you always want to make sure you have it filled to the minimum line. If you run these things without liquid, you'll burn up the ultrasonic generators. Okay, so I ended up throwing Lincoln's mini bike carburetor, which I'm gonna insert the clip. Jake, insert the clip here. Okay, so I am inserting this into the video where you guys are gonna see me showing this off, and I'm gonna say, look, let's look at the parts. All right, so this was just something that was dirty. It's an oil filter wrench. The video where I did live, this was very gummy, did not move on its own, and the needle was stuck inside there. The needle, if we come over here, is right there, and you saw it came out. Okay, but this is what also came out. Look at this brass. Look at how clean, focus. Look at how clean that brass came out. And then there is another piece, nice and clean. Fuel bowl bolt. So I will be putting the carburetor back together in a separate clip. We're not going to be showing it in the YouTube about this guy because that's not what it's for, but I just wanted to show how nice that is. And you can see I just turned this basket 90 degrees, let it drain. Okay, that was amazing, right? And his mini bike now works. So I am going to, she's going to turn the camera, and maybe she's going to, all right, so I've got, look at a little oil drippy. Where are you coming from? Okay. So I've got the CB750, and it's got 4 supposedly synchronized carburetors. And it also has this little petcock right here on the side of the tank. And that has a filter in it, and it's 1992. So it's got some age and some miles, and I put a bore scope in here, and it's got some rust. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pop this tank off, and this will be in a later video where I'm gonna sort of more of vlog style show you working on the bike. But that's why I reached out to them, because I wanna basically be able to pull these parts off the carburetor, off the tank, throw them in there, run them. As I said with the chem dip, right? The chem dip stuff is the non-volatile version. But you do want to make sure anytime you use any of the cleaner that you follow the manufacturer's recommendations. Some metals in carburetor cleaner will react differently. You don't want to let them sit in for more than a recommended time. I think on chem dip it says 4 hours. The cycle for the ultrasonic is 30-minute max. So obviously you would have to set a timer, come out and run it time after time. After, I think, 4 runs, the carburetor for Lincoln's mini bike came out great, perfectly clean. It had a jet. It actually had the little float needle that was wedged into the valley and wouldn't come out. And once we ran it through the ultrasonic cleaner, everything came out on its own. So pretty simple, pretty easy to use. You can see, so she's gonna zoom in. I wanna show you the operation of each one of these gauges so you understand how to use it all. All right, so again, set temperature and actual temperature. So I'm gonna set it to 25. As long as you have your set above your actual, it will turn on, and that is indicated there. And then your timer, so I have it set to 30 minutes, but you can bump this down, and that's sort of like if you have a painted surface and you don't want to take the paint off, you know, whatever it is, anytime you have something that you're not sure of, look it up, figure out what it is, figure out, you know, any recommendations, chemical, things like that. Run it for less amount of time, pay attention to it, look at what it's doing. Set temperature time, or set time, and then you hit on, and then the time will count down. When it's done, or if you want to stop it earlier, you just hit the power button off again, and same thing for the heat. You saw that the temperature is increasing and all that, so it's really nice, it monitors it. You can see the drain here on the side, and down inside the basket, which unfortunately I can't show you in this chemical, has a little screen on it so that we're gonna make sure that debris doesn't get into that tube. So it's really simple generally though. If you didn't have a heater, it'd be like on off, right? If you didn't have a timer, it would be like one button. But because of that, it's got, you know, 4 or 5 or 6. I like the fact that it has a lid and it's got handles. From a footprint standpoint, this is a 15 liter, which means it does take a lot of chemical. But again, I showed you the trick. Put water in it and then put your chemicals in a jar. Now, what we did find out to what you don't want to put your chemicals in is a
plastic
bag. So it turns out that putting any kind of corrosive chemical in a plastic that does react to that corrosion, like a Ziploc bag named diesel, possibly speaking, not saying we did it, the bag will dissolve. It's weird, but it does work in general. So like if you had water in here and then you wanted to take a non-corrosive soapy solution and put it in a plastic bag and put your rings in it, you could put that in there. It does work. Again, remember that anytime you heat a substance, it might expand and the bag might open up or the lid might expand as well. So I hope you liked the clips that I threw in here showing it, and you guys, I mean, you follow me for a reason, so keep following along if you want to see more of the motorcycle stuff. Like I said, I'm going to be pulling that gas tank, I'm going to be pulling those carbs off, and this is going to become a staple in here because, well, I'm always trying to restore or work on something, so being able to have the ability to use an ultrasonic cleaner to save the elbow grease is definitely a lifesaver. So I will put a link in the description for this. I want to thank VEVOR because that was awesome. I was able to email them and say, hey, you know, you guys always say you make great stuff, and they proved it. They sent me this and it works great. So you guys make sure you check the description for the link for that, and have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.